What's going on, y'all? Bud Elliott here of the Nolecast, and this is the Instant Reaction Podcast. Florida State 14, Cal 9. Wait, that's more for FSU than the opponent. I'm not used to that this year, but I could get talked into getting used to that if need be. Florida State gets the dub on Parents Weekend. They finally get out of the losers' lounge, and they are 1-3 on the season. Let's discuss how they did it. This is a defensive performance first and foremost, and basically entirely, for my money at least, a defensive performance. Florida State allowed 410 yards tonight, but they also did so on facing 74 plays. That's an average of 5.5 per play. If you take a look, they allowed a 31% offensive success rate, which is overall pretty decent. They had 12 tackles for loss and 7 sacks. If we harken back to to the preview podcast that we did with Mike, and I appreciate Mike coming on. I think a lot of people enjoyed that. Basically said the only real way for Florida State to win this game, given how bad its offense is right now, is for FSU's defensive line to dominate an offensive line of Cal that we think is probably not very good. And that is indeed mostly what happened on the night. Again, 12 tackles for loss and 7 sacks on the night. They also had an interception, which was excellent. Forced a fumble, didn't actually recover that fumble, but it was a hard-fought defensive effort. Not always like the smartest defensive effort, but man, they did play hard. And that was encouraging to see because at times this year, I thought it looked like some guys were not playing as hard as they could. Not all, not like a majority of the defense, but this was pretty much a hair on fire effort, especially from that defensive front. This is closer to what you think that defensive effort is supposed to look like when you have a really good defensive front, or at least what is supposed to be a really good defensive front. So hats off, man. Hats off as well to our sponsors, legendary team, 844 FSU Loan. 844 FSU Loan is the number to call, as well as Matt Lewis of Congruity, congruityhr.com/Knowles. And of course, Charlie Park, Madison Social Township, the whole For the Table restaurant group. I don't know if any of y'all are in town for Parents Weekend, but hopefully you're going to enjoy a nice brunch at Charlie Park tomorrow morning. So at least I hope so. All right. So very good defensive effort overall. If you want to nitpick it, and I think we probably should a little bit, let's take a look at how many times Cal converted a first down on long yardage situations. So Cal converted a 3rd and 11, a 3rd and 5, a 3rd and 10, a 3rd and 6, and a 3rd and 14. That's it's kind of insane to go 3 of 8 on 3rd and longs and 0 for 2 for 3rd and short situations. Cal's average 3rd down distance to go was, of course, 10 yards because FSU constantly had them behind the sticks. But if FSU could have found a way to get off the field, quite frankly, this game probably isn't all that close. Although it's hard to say that if the offense really can't score any points. So if I have a nitpick, it's that you're allowing, what did I just say? 5, 3rd and 5 or longer to be converted on the night. That's pretty nuts. And not only that, but like a lot of those are pretty long. 11, 5, okay, 10, 6, 14. And even sometimes like you're setting up a situation where they're getting so much on 3rd down that they don't convert it, but they're setting up like a very manageable 4th down situation. So that was not great for sure. All right. Overall, though, it's hard to complain about this game that much in a year that's been pretty poor. In the overall context of Florida State, obviously, I think you do some complaining here because, this is FSU, and I don't think Cal played very well at all. And the FSU I grew up on, they smoked this team. Now you didn't allow a touchdown. You held them to 3 field goals. Okay, that's actually much better. Trying to deny the explosive play over the top, which actually didn't work quite as well. But you did limit the run game some. And Ott had 73 on 16. Javion Thomas had 26 on 7. So like not huge, but also not completely dominant against the backs. I mean, what is that? 23 for 99. I think most days you'd probably take that. Mendoza had some scrambles, but he also lost 48 yards, or sorry, 40 yards on those sacks. So, yeah, that is my general thought on the defense. Pretty good. I would give it, I don't know, like by good FSU standards, kind of a B, because they did allow 410 and they did allow, some of those third down conversions that are long that they really should be getting off the field for. But by this year's standards, it's like an A plus a million pluses, right? So that was encouraging. It certainly does feel good to get the win, even in a season that is a lost season, right? We're not going to lose sight of the bigger picture, but we're also not going to not celebrate a win, at least on our show. So anyway, let's talk here about the offense because we have to. I mean, 16 of 27 for 177, one touchdown, one interception, a couple pretty bad misfires. I think he had one drop. A lot of balls are kind of shorter stuff that they set up with some of the RPO stuff, which was nice early on. Cal started to take some of that away. Dare did hit some deep stuff. For the most part, you couldn't. You did hit one late to Ja'Kai Douglas, which was a beautiful ball. DJ deserves credit for that. It's just, I mean, you're held under 300 yards again. Rob Scott didn't play. Byers didn't play. Washington did play. I do think getting Washington back in the lineup, even if he's not having an amazing season, even if he's not having the season that he probably wanted to, I mean, still, like having him in is a pretty big deal, and at least I think it is. All right, now run game. Nice to see Cam Davis. I think he would have been featured a lot more heavily in this game had he not been injured early on. Good to see him come back in. Good to see him run hard. Backs ran what? Singleton, that's 9. So 26 for 111. I mean, not anything special, but not horrendous, I guess. 7 tackles for loss in 68 snaps. Obviously, you don't get a TFL for a kneel down, and FSU had 2 or 3 kneel downs. So let's call it 7 and 65. So you're still running a tackle for loss rate north of 10%, which is concerning for sure. 3 sacks in 27 attempts, and 2 scrambles for DJ. So like 10% sack rate on dropback. Still really not good, but I don't know. I watched the offense, but I was pretty turned off by the offense really as soon as I saw DJ Trot out there. I was like, okay, this sucks to watch. I'm not interested in watching DJU in this offense. And I know a lot of my friends didn't go to the game as a result of that. And I think there were a lot of people who were pretty pissed off at Mike Norvell tonight for starting DJ. And I don't think they really care if FSU won the game or lost the game. They kind of want to see what's next. And maybe Mike Norvell is telling him, hey, here's what's next. Brock ain't it. I mean, that's a pretty reasonable assumption if you're going to keep running DJ out there. But the other assumption, of course, is that coaches generally are going to try to start the guy that gives them, in their estimation, the best chance to win the game. Did DJ really give you the best chance to win the game? Like I don't know. I'm a little skeptical of that with his mobility, but I guess he didn't totally lose you the game. Although the one pick is the one pick. Ja'Kai Douglas being like the most dependable receiver on this team continues to be a huge problem because he's just like not that talented. So I think it really speaks to what you have in the receiver core there. Morlock dropping that one ball. 6 targets, 21 yards for Morlock. That's horrible. What is that? Less than 4 yards per target. Malik Benson last year at Bama thinks that's bad, right? Well, speaking of which, I mean, Benson tonight, 4 targets, -4 yards on 2 catches. Now, granted, obviously one of those, he has his guy beat, and DJ just can't put it like anywhere close to him, which was pretty disappointing. So, yeah, I mean, overall, a really inefficient night throwing the football, but you did find a way to win the ball game, which was good. Special teams were really good. Master Mono punting the ball was pretty important. I will take exception to the broadcast that they're criticizing going for fourth down when FSU did in lieu of kicking a 58-yard field goal. Guys, I'm pretty sure even with the good kicker and a bad offense, it's still the right call to go for that like fourth and short medium than it is to kick a 58 yarder. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what chart ESPN's looking at, but to me, that's not really it. All right. Let me see some other stuff from the defense. I did like that you got some young guys in the ball game and they played well. If we are writing this season off as basically a lost season, and I certainly am, you do want to start to see some of the young guys play better. I saw Marvin Jones Jr. play better. I thought that was big, right? I saw Edwin Joseph play and play pretty well. You saw Quindarius Jones play and play well. So you saw a lot of the young guys like Nicholson, I thought made some nice plays tonight. So some of the dudes who are probably going to be counted on to be starters next year for you played well. I was encouraged. So that was great. I am wearing the Tampa Knowles hat tonight, by the way. Did the kickoff speech for them this year and really enjoyed it. So shout out to Mike for having us on there. That was a lot of fun down there in Tampa before this team started losing all these ball games. All right, other stats I want to go over and other things here. So big plays by FSU. I mean, again, just long run of 15 yards. That was the Ja'Kai Douglas end around. Long run by a running back was 12. Just they just can't seem to pop that really, really nice run. So disappointing there. Long pass, of course, the one to Ja'Kai. Only one pass other than that exceeded 20 yards. That was one to Ja'Kai in the third quarter. I mean, you're not going to win a lot of ball games being as bottled up as you are, and if you have an inaccurate quarterback who's very slow, both with his feet, delivery, and decision making, this is really the best you got. That's pretty scary. I think I'd like to see a quarterback that's more mobile, and I get it. Mike Norvell's the coach of the team. He'll be the coach of the team for a long time, in my estimation. But I don't know. Like if you're running DJ out there, I'm not really feeling like watching these games. It's just is what it is. So, yeah, a win is a win, but you'd kind of like to see what else you got and give some other guys a chance. I thought it was kind of just a really depressing effort again by the offense. I mean, 4.2 yards per play at home. Phew, yuck. But I mean, I guess you could be Auburn, right? Auburn lost to this team. Some of the teams that you have lost to previously today, though, did not cover themselves in glory, right? Louisville beat Georgia Tech by double digits. That wasn't great. Let me see what else here. Boston College is currently losing at home to Michigan State. Wow, that's a bit surprising. I mean, maybe not shocking, but they had the ball like first and goal, so that was a little bit wild. And then, oh yeah, Memphis lost and gave up almost 60 points to Navy. So, yeah, just what a depressing effort from the offense. Defense, great effort all night to bail out a terrible offensive effort. I mean, I don't know. I guess we need to be happy about the win, but if we said that like we don't really care about wins and losses anymore for this season, we want to see development in other areas. We want to see more of the young guys play. Then I think we need to be consistent with that win or lose. So, yeah, I wasn't blown away by this. I guess it's better to be 1-3 than 0-4, but not something that really impressed me all that much, with the exception of the defense played hard. And there are some games on the schedule that you can win if this defense plays like this. I don't think there are anywhere near enough games on the schedule you can win without real market offensive improvement, even if the defense continues to play like this. Because that Cal offensive line's pretty bad, and I don't think they played very well either. So um, there will be teams that block you and that can score in the mid 20s, maybe the upper 20s, probably some in the low 30s certainly. And if you're just stuck scoring in the low teens and you score one or two touchdowns and you're under 300 yards, you're just not going to win ball games. So, all right. I feel like this was almost more depressing than some of the ones when FSU actually lost, but I was just very underwhelmed by what we saw on offense again. And you'd like to see something different. All right. I will see you guys again on Monday. I'll watch film. Hopefully, we'll find some gems and some stuff that I didn't see first time around. This has been the Nolecast. See y'all.